Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are in the world. I'm actually starting just a tad early. I know, unheard of, right? Always like the inside of these Coriolis stations. This is a Douglas Enterprise in my system too. I thought today we'd try to push to finish up System 3. Another Coriolis. I always get that name wrong. Online. The only bad thing is that I think I have like 14, 15 trips probably. So I think what I'll do is, if you don't mind, I'll just babble on about some plans and some various other things. Yeah, let's get started. Such a cool look at all the crud going on here. I did it again. Huh. Oh, sorry. There. So the space bar, it's control on the PC on the keyboard. Control Alt space bar switches to camera mode, and if you accidentally have OBS selected for what's it called, active. If it's active on your Windows, space bar hits whatever button you last hit, which happens to be. I've been toying with, in addition to streaming, I've been toying with recording and editing. I didn't do anything with the last recording. I got really lazy. We got to overcome that first. But at any rate, point being is that was the last button I hit, and stopped my recording again. I did the same thing yesterday. I don't know. Pay no mind to the monkey behind the camera here. So yeah, we're getting close to finishing this. I always forget how many resources Coriolises need. I know I was complaining about that yesterday. And I just been going direct. I find that speedier. But the pirates have been getting very rambunctious in the other system. I've gotten landed, but to have them shooting at me as I beeline it to the platform. And having the base up is not going to help that, because in theory the security actually drops by a couple ticks. So the only way to make that better is to craft some military surface posts. I may or may not do it. We'll see. I think after, though, the base, the Coriolis that I finish here, I'm going to move on to the large surface base in System 1. I like calling them System 1 and 2. I know nobody else knows what the heck I'm talking about most of the time, but basically it's just the order in which I founded the systems. So my primary system that I started, System 1. The second one, which where Douglas is System 2, and this one's going to be System 3. And if I feel extra energetic, I'll post System 1, 2, 3 in the description. In case you want to come out and visit or use whatever we have going on here. I should look at where I'm at on the boards for the community goal. Like I said yesterday, I really don't care if I'm on top or not. I just want I just want the cargo rack. I wonder if we're going to have the opportunity to get more of those too, because it'd be nice to... I can't remember what my primary racks are on this thing. I should look. But since I move so much material, anything that would expand my moving capability is greatly appreciated. I do think that, I was just thinking about this earlier today, the one big thing about this colonization is, I mean, one, you don't make a lot of money. You know, the money you make is based off the score of the system. Now, the score is based off of, you know, what kind of facilities you have. But I wonder if you couldn't do something... I mean, you know, that system might be good for like a base pay kind of thing. But it'd be cool if you could tie it to some of the happenings, right? You know, like if you're selling a lot of something. Now, granted, that might not work just because people are so spread out these days, and you know, it might be just extra complexity with no real advantage. Unless there was NPCs that were doing some of the hauling and, you know, commerce and such. But, you know, it comes down to, is all that complexity really worthwhile or not? Right? Because I kind of imagine that the servers that run all this, you know, they're not looking for more work to do. No. Been seeing other videos of people talking up the foot operations, or whatever it's called. I'm calling it foot operations. So the new updates to, you know, foot missions, and effectively, I mean, I guess it would be considered an upgrade to Odyssey. So I'm really curious to see what all that's going to be. My brain went to how some RTSs are. I wonder if you could set up like hire NPCs to move materials around or something. You know, that might generate an economy. Oh, oops. I'm just staring off into space. I get thinking on you know, these lines of thought on this game and what you could do, and then you try to I start to solve what, you know, what problems you would have and how that would play out. I can't help it. I've always been like that. I've also been watching a lot of videos now on Star Citizen and what's happening in that world. I never bought into Star Citizen. It initially just I was kind of following the wait and see attitude, and then it just never seemed to finish in my brain, in my mind. I have friends that have hopped in and stuff, and they haven't really played it either. They've only like played a few hours here and there. But some of the videos I watch, there's quite a bit of gameplay there. A lot of weird issues, but quite a bit of gameplay. But I guess right now they're all talking about a possible wipe on the next iteration. And I get why they're talking about it, why it might be desired. I wonder how it's all going to play out. And the danger right now with all the unknown is whether or not any new players will come in, right? They're all going to just wait. And so your numbers might take a big dip if you're just going to lose everything that you're working on. Wow. Why is the yawns? Yikes. Sorry. I sometimes wonder if Elite's gonna... I mean, Elite's got their own mindset and how they operate, right? They lean more heavily to realistic, but I know that their engine only can do so much, so the detail of the models and stuff like that, they can't get too deep, otherwise things get too complex and nobody wins there. But I wonder, let me complete the thought, sorry. I do wonder if they're gonna start looking at some, doing some of the things. I think I mentioned having a war, now that you have all these player created systems, I wonder if you could have a war and have actual destruction of some of the systems. Not only not only player bases and such, but some of the NPC ones too, right? I don't know how that would play out given how much effort you have to put in to build these systems. I mean, I don't know if I would want my System 1 to just be wiped completely out. So, yeah. I think I can put my build up here. This button? Yeah. You can see the progress happening. Right now I'm just working on steel. I'll get through steel, and then for the CMM composites, I'll go down to the surface base and pull those. So. Oops. And depending how long this all takes, I could potentially even start my other base, but I think I'll definitely just leave that for next time. I don't know if I want this. Get rid of that. Oops. I did not mean to press that right away. If you're good at predicting, you know, gravity wells and stuff, that, yeah, well, speaking of, if you're good at gravity wells, yeah, navigating this SCO drive, you can really move. I mean, just getting this far in is kind of nice too. I sometimes think, though, the gravity well is a state more than actual gravity well being detected, right? I mean, I'm sure it's detected initially, but I think once you have the state, there's no way to shake it until the state wears off. You know what I mean? Even though you're no longer really in the gravity well, I don't think it's an evaluation every time. I think it's just a flag. Once you've triggered it, you have to reverse or vector a different direction to get rid of it. I've kind of noticed that there was a few times where I don't remember what ship I was in, but I was in a constant gravity well, and I was just, even though I was orbiting the thing I was trying to get to, it just never wore off. I finally just had to turn away and get it to stop. So it was kind of humorous in a way. Blah, blah, blah. I just go all over the map a lot of times. It looks like, so my ring's lit up a little bit today. I'm not sure why. It must be just the, you know, wherever it is in orbit, I guess. It's a little more gray than, you know, almost pitch black. I've seen a lot of people talk up the Corsair in this game. Kind of want to build out a Corsair for some other operations. Might be fun. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at the community goal. We'll look at that when we head back here. Currently my carrier is sitting in the system, but I'm not sure why I have it here. I mean, I could refuel it the rest of the way, but I have like 19,000 available cargo space, so I could potentially just use that for the large spaceport. I got a bunch of stuff on there extra, like 4,000 worth of units of extra just stuff from, you know, misbuying or whatever. Hoping that the new base takes some of it. That way I don't have to sell it back to the station. Doesn't seem like whether I turn in or if I turn out, it doesn't seem to increase my or decrease my time travel to get to the base. I'm sure there's a trick to all this. Just haven't learned it. Haven't heard anything new from Frontier about my missing base. Keep hoping to hear something. I checked yesterday, there wasn't any changes. I haven't checked today. That's weird, isn't it? Things black out and stuff, and they redraw. I should put my performance monitor on. I've been tweaking settings. I may have tweaked too high up. I think I was trying to get the rings to show up better in the other system. Yeah, it is updating. Good. It's just making sure the indicator on screen is updating. I have another screen with it running. Let's see how we're doing. Community goal. Mission. Still in the top 25. $14,000 contributors, so it's up 1,000 ish. Global contribution 185 million. Crazy. Oops. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this done today. Hope so. It's amazing how long it takes. Right? I mean... most of the time is the speed up and the slowdown of the... excuse me, getting to the base. You know? Could always get somebody to just park out here and nav lock to them. Actually, I guess technically you would need two, right? One here and one at the other base. Nav lock back and forth. That'd be humorous. Oops. Getting too close. You get into this state and it doesn't feel like you're moving. Oh, yep. I got too close. Let's throttle up a little here. See if we can't overcome that. Can't really tell when I'm getting too close to the ring itself, you know? There's no line that shows up there. Just kind of judge it and make sure I don't accidentally clip it. But in this case, I got too close to the planet, or the gas giant. You can see the red. Just kind of muscle through. Things are moving now. Kind of cool to go and see what all this is running on, you know, all the servers and such. Understand what what the server actually does in this game. I don't know why I'm yawning. Good grief. Imagine if you could do, you know how like trucks have double trailers and triple trailers? Could you imagine you can do something similar? Like tow a barge with your ship? I mean, I guess effectively that's what you're doing when you're talking about fleet carriers. Adjusted the is it the relative mouse return? I think I still need to drop it some more. That's how quickly when you go to right, left, up, down, whatever, how quickly the mouse returns to center. But I mostly use it for, well, you just saw, the post SCO activation, or when I'm taking off from the surface or leaving either a carrier or a base. Keep hearing the whistling sound, which I usually associated with other ships flying around, chasing me down. You often hear it when like before a pirate like interdicts you. But I've noticed that they use it in other instances now. Kind of sounds like a leaky window when you're on the highway. Man, look at that. I was just looking at how long I've been online. 36 minutes. we still have, what is it, 11. So we've done 3 trips. Yeah, this might take a while. So while we're docking, let's take a look at the other system. See if it has gotten a sudden Coriolis popped out of nowhere. Nope, still just the one outpost, and you can see this 1 of 2. This is where the large part's going to go, right here on the planet. So that's where we're heading. After this is done, and you can see why this kind of, once you get this pattern down, and if you're just doing short hops like I'm currently doing, I mean, this is perfectly to do when you're watching movies. That's what I do a lot. Not sure what to do with the system once I get this up and running. I am going to explore, I think with this one, the asteroid belt, and see what I could do with that. I'm not sure what benefits there would be. I think what I'll do is I'll hop into RYZEN and play with some ideas. That worked out really well for my System 1. You know, System 1, I tried tried to have AI figure out what would be the most optimal path. And you know, I mean, it was an interesting idea that it came up with, but it was what it was wanting me to do was create a bunch of temporary Coriolises and, you know, basically build them and destroy them for points is the reason why they was doing it. And I started poking around at it, and I'm like, this seems like a lot of material, right? I mean, look at how long this is taking. I was just like, wow, this is a long time. There's got to be something else, some other way to do this. So I started dinking around. I'm like, yeah, and I probably have gone over this several times at this point, but this is just a different viewpoint of it. So I was like, well, I need to have better access to, you know, fruits and vegetables and some other kind of product. Let's just see if we can't do the farms, or look into not farms directly, but, you know, that kind of add that to the system. And that's how I arrived at the surface agriculture. And I saw that those planets, or the planet right where I placed it, you know, it was 0 of 6. I had 6 positions I could do something with. And I started playing with that idea. And not only did it give me the points, but it also gave me product for that. And I think we have closed the hole for fruits and vegetables. So I liked my plan better than the AI. But it was cool that AI could even parse what I was talking about. I was able to even use screenshots of not only RYZEN, but also in-game, and just give that, and it could actually derive some kind of data from it, which I thought was amazing. But the plan it came up with, while it would work, seemed like a lot of work. And I liked my concept better. Now, my concept may have a negative effect, and that is that instead of it's producing as much mineral and, or sorry, not mineral, I guess technically it's called extract and industry. Instead of producing as much as it could there, it might take a hit for a small amount of, is it agriculture that they actually team it as? I'd have to look it up. We'll look it up here in a second. I don't like having my nose in the interface when there's a potential for me to run into something. So, like, since it's landing, what's this? Oh, I didn't realize this showed up here. Figures. So, like, if we go... Yeah, this one. And then if we go to the base, you can see here, yeah, it's agriculture. So there's 2 weak links for agriculture, and it shows up here as a small bar. I don't know if it's going to show me the percentage or not. In RYZEN, it'll show me the percentage. I said extract, I meant refinery. So refinery and industry were my base. I put the military down in order to settle the security. So, yeah. And these strong market links are going to change. We're going to get even more when we put the large base down, because you can see the weak or the strong links are the current refinery that's down there. I do hope they put more information or more screens that we can get information on some of the colonization, because I think it would be very helpful. So I don't always have to go to RYZEN. Not that I don't like having RYZEN. RYZEN's really great, especially to organize the building of all this stuff with my friends. It has been amazing for that. So super kudos to him. I started putting, I think my last video, well, not on Twitch, but on YouTube, where I copied it, I started putting RYZEN link in the description. I can start doing that here too. And all I have is a title. I'll work it out. But I can always put them in the bottom panels on Twitch. But he and his team deserve major credit for making this palatable. That is for sure. I always turn in. That doesn't seem to help. I sometimes wonder if turning out would be better. I've done a couple turnouts where I'd loop, and that didn't seem to... That was even longer. Always trying to optimize this. I think what I'll do is I'm going to bring the carrier to here again and get prepared for a large port. In the carrier here. I was going to take it over because I thought I had stuff on it, but I was wrong. I do like the fact that I can do that, what I just did. Command the carrier while I'm middle of docking or you know, completely away from the carrier. It's so nice to be able to do that. I think I'll make another run here. Maybe I'll... Yeah, I think I'll... This is going to take a while, so... I'll do this in kind of off stream, but I can always go and start the build of the large port, which might be interesting. And then I can finish that potentially next stream. We'll do another run because it's going to take 10 minutes for 15 minutes, whatever it is for the... Actually, if I get there quick enough, I'll just land on the carrier and hop in my other ship. Because I'm kind of curious now about the impact of the large port. I know I looked it up, but I just... Ooh. Ooh, I did something bad. I didn't get a bounty, but I got noticed. I think I hit one of the signs on the way out. That's funny. I think the community goal ends this week, and I think it was only supposed to be like a 7-dayer. I don't know if I want to add more to the stuff I did. I don't think I have time. Got too many things going on. Yeah, there's a ship on my tail. Pirate. Let's see how well he chases me with the SCO. Oh, can I get on the deck before it finds me, or? Oh, I'm starting to see something on my tail. Not sure that's him or not, but... See what I mean by how dark these rings are? Let's throttle up a little bit. Yep, there's one on my tail. Gravity well, not good. Ha. I've had them where they pop back out of hyperspace right in front of me and I bounce off the front of the ship. It's always funny. Yeah, I think that's... So, let's drop this on and look over what I'm trying to do. So, let's open this up. So what I'm trying to do, oops, on the, this one. Oh, that's right. Hold on. Let's get the scroll bars working. There they go. So what we're trying to do here, oh, I have this marked for 2 more. We'll see if we actually do those or not. These are the agriculture, the green. So the large planet port, which is right here, in theory, if I put this down, it's going to greatly increase my industry, my refinery. I mean, it's just gonna... The cool thing about the large planetary is it not only gets a benefit from this outpost refinery, well, civilian op surface, blah blah blah. You get the idea. Not only gets that benefit, but it works as a whole, right? You know, you get your links. All the links work in its favor as well. So if I ever get my my orbital, do I have it? I think I have it marked that I don't. My orbital is gone. I think that's what I did, and this is future. Right now, I have a just an outpost here. I deleted it because I'm assuming that it's never coming back, and then I was going to build a new Coriolis, and then you would see here refinery 385. Industry, and with this large port here, you know, it's pulling 225. So and we're getting a good mix. You know, we got some high tech in there and military, and then the agriculture because of the 2 active ones. Let's see. No, don't include the incomplete. No, but it won't calculate for this one. Anyway, you get the idea. So I think I'm going to call it here. The goal is going to be, I was hoping to finish this, but I still have eight trips to go, and I think I may fall asleep. They're not very exciting, except for an occasional pirate chasing me down. So I will be completing these. I will post the end result of that probably next stream, and then reserve next stream also for creating the start of the large surface port. So I hope you had some fun, got something information out of it, something out of my babble. All right, you have a great day. Take care.